Hi, Alan. Well, today I'd just like to talk about hidden entitlements that some people miss when they're parents of children with additional needs. Now, I know there's a lot of entitlements, grants, and credits available to parents, but what I found really difficult just to find out what I was entitled to. So, this is why I'm delighted we have the A to Z guide as well and entitlements available, and people can download them on our website if they want. But just a few questions there for you, Alan, today. So, are there many hidden entitlements?
I suppose to be fair, there's a lot of entitlements and grants and stuff, and they're out there. And if you just know where to look for, like on the citizen information, welfare.ie, revenue, now you have to do a lot of research. As you said, then we do have that booklet. That's what we do, is just try to bring the information together. And we have the online video as well. So again, there's no harm just to kind of look into those. But there is a few ones then, and you just most times when I sit down with parents doing the kind of Zoom consultations, you just sit down with them and you just realize they don't have the main ones. And probably the main one I would be talking about would be, say, VAT relief. And again, a lot of parents out there, they have to purchase aids, appliances, equipment, or they go to OT or speech therapy and they recommend it. And again, a lot of the times, rather than waiting, they end up paying for it privately out of their own pockets. And what they don't realize, because of this, then they can actually look to get the VAT back. And it's a simple enough process. All they need to do is to get a letter from the professional just recommending it, send it off with the VAT form. It's a specific VAT form. It's VAT 61A. If you go onto the revenue website, or send us an email, we'll just send it on to you that kind of way. And again, that allows you to get VAT back. And I suppose one other thing on the VAT side of it, an awful lot of parents don't realize, if you have to do adaptations to your house, now of course there's a housing adaptation grant, look into that. It is means tested, but it means they're a bit more generous than, we say, other type entitlements. But either way, you can always claim the VAT back on any adaptations you do to your home. I know a lot of parents say, oh, do you know what I mean? They only think it's for, say, wheelchair access. But again, if you have to change your bathroom, if you have to make it more suitable, or, so your child, as they get older, can go in and shower themselves or use the facilities on their own. These are all things then, when you do those types of changes, you can also be claiming the VAT back. But the one core and key thing to do is always get the supporting document. And the last thing on the VAT there, I just found out only recently as well, is that if you have a child over the age of obviously 3 and nappies, and if you're purchasing nappies and you have to do private, now there is the free nappy scheme, but a lot of parents I know sometimes think the quality is really poor, so they often end up paying for these nappies. But again, if you can get your receipts with the nappy separated on it, and if there's VAT on the nappies that you're purchasing, you can also look to claim that back, in particular when your child is like 3 upwards, do you know what I mean? And in the sense, not under the age of 3, of course.
That's very interesting, isn't it, really? I think a lot of people don't do
Yeah.
enough of that, maybe.
Yeah, it's just people just don't realize it's there. Again, how would you? You're so busy. You've so much going on. The last thing you're going to do is be, Googling the revenue website and checking up on VAT relief. This kind of. So again, hopefully now this video gets out to a lot of parents, and again, hopefully it helps parents get a few, a little bit of the cost back on all these type of items.
And Alan, can you just talk a little bit about the warmer home scheme as well?
Yeah, that's something that we mentioned on the webinars again. So I always mention on the webinar because it's something, again, that I think a lot of parents don't realize that is there. And what that is a scheme available to parents who have domiciliary care allowance or who have carers allowance themselves. And what it allows you to do is, if your house is built before 2006, it allows you to get an energy consultant to come out to the family home, and they do assessment. And what they do from the assessment, then they might do recommendations such as they might insulate the walls, the attics, they might do lighting. So there might be a number of things that they will actually do. And if they will carry out that and improve the, the efficiency and the warmth of the home, they'll actually pay the contractor in full to do that. So again, then that will be covered under the warmer home scheme.
Okay, that's very interesting. And a lot of parents ask me about the household benefit package.
Yeah, there's just a change in that recently, which is probably why we're getting so many questions now. And what the changes have came in, it was that prior, you only got the household benefit package if you had carers allowance. So it was automatic entitlement. And the household benefit package is €35 off your gas and electricity. It's a free TV license as well. Now, the latest information on that whole area is, if you have a child with disability allowance, okay, then your child with disability may be entitled to claim the household benefit package. Now, it's one per household. So of course, if you have the carers allowance, you don't need to kind of reapply, because you obviously have it. But we say, if you're working away or you're not getting granted the carers allowance, so you don't have the household benefit package, but your child's over the age of 16 with disability allowance, again, you can fill in that form, put their details on it, add them to one of your bills, either your gas or electricity. that side of it, send it off to the department, and again, it will hopefully, fingers crossed, be granted, and then that can be paid into your child's special needs bank account, or you can speak to the department of where you want to actually get it paid to.
Well, it's very interesting, really, isn't it? There's a lot of things people don't really know there.
Yeah, and I actually, even today, and I'll just give you one last example. There was a lady, she didn't realize that her child's over the age of 16 on disability allowance. They weren't getting any carers allowance because obviously her husband's income was too high. So therefore, what she didn't realize is she was a full-time mom, full-time carer. She wasn't even working outside of the family home, and she could be claiming carer support grant. It used to be called the respite care grant. She didn't know. She thought it stopped when the child turned 16. But again, I was explaining to her, it's not means tested. She could have even actually worked up to 18 and a half hours and still be granted the care support grant. So again, she's filled in that form, sent it off now. So again, going forward, she'll get the care support grant. So these, as you said, are things that are kind of hidden, things that you mightn't be aware of. But I will always say to parents, do check, do ask, and do find out, as I said, and do double check things, because something that you might have been getting previous, it might fall off, but you might certainly be entitled for going forward.
And Alan, has there been changes to the care support grant as well recently, or is that the same?
Yeah, well, that's actually the thing on the care support grant is previously you could only work up to 15 hours. Okay, so it's not means tested, but now they've expanded that you can work up to 18 and a half hours and still be entitled to the care support grant. So that's the 1,700 tax-free lump sum that parents get in June of each year, or as we used to always say, the holiday fund, the good old days.
Yes, the holiday fund. So, Alan, thank you. And I presume all these things change from time to time, and you will keep our parents updated with any.
Yeah, exactly. Sign up to if you're not already on the newsletter, make sure you're on the newsletter, because that's where we let parents all know. The minute we get any of that type of information, we put it on the newsletter. So again, letting everybody know to make sure everybody's getting what they're entitled to.
Fantastic, Alan. Thank you very much.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
Doris. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.